Hi, everyone. I'm Jenny Robertson, founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community and founder publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine. I'm here today to share the speaker portion of our Connections Over Coffee gathering of the On Purpose Woman Global Community. Our speaker, Shelly Roman, will be talking on Rewrite Your Script. Shelly's life presented numerous challenges, including abandonment, violence, abuse, and addiction. Yet she sustained a 35-plus year career as an engineer and leader. Shelly brought order to the chaos of her life by developing the concept of sacred ground. She's committed to helping others heal and transform their lives. Shelly is a certified SHIFT faculty member and a certified Find Your Voice healer. You can find out more about Shelly's work at sacredgroundwalk.com, and I'll add that link in the comments. So Shelly, thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. What a wonderful welcome this Monday morning, May 16th. Hello out there in Facebook Live land. So for our participants who may be watching or looking at this later, the question of the day is very easy. What three things do you love the most? Now, our ladies on the meeting have had a chance to think about this for a while. So I'm going to ask them, who wants to tell me the three things they love the most? Come on. Monica, can you tell me the three things you love the most?
I'll go ahead and go.
Okay, Nicole.
So the three things I love the most is I love doing hair, I love helping people, and I love to socialize and do parties and stuff.
Beautiful. Mary, do you need to care to share?
I think that the three top is my grandchildren, applause, and chocolate, dark chocolate.
Lovely. Anybody else want to share? Anybody have anything very different?
Sure, I do. It's
Okay.
Marty. I love what I do, and that is coaching women through divorce. I absolutely love my family, and I love time to myself, whether it be reading, whether it be meditating, chanting. Those are things that I love.
Beautiful. Anybody else care to share? Okay, so my question back to you is, did anybody have on their list that they love themselves? Anybody?
Nope.
Okay, so now let's talk about why. Tell me what's in your head that would keep you from saying you loved yourself, and what does it make you think of when you think, I love myself? What comes up?
Selfishness.
Selfishness. What else?
Conceit.
Oh, conceit. Oh, yes. Yes. I'm too big for my britches, aren't I? I think I'm all that.
I take myself for granted.
Yes. Do take yourself for granted. So these, go ahead.
Unworthiness.
Unworthiness. Bless you for being honest. And this is what happened to me the first time someone asked me this question. And I can tell you to this day, I still struggle with putting myself on that list. Not something I do, not something I've earned, just me. That if I just sit here in this chair and do nothing else, I can still love myself. And I am worthy of that. The reason this is so challenging, I believe, is because we have these scripts that are right here between our ears that have been put there by everything we've heard from society. Yes, don't be so selfish. Share your food, share your toys. Pretty soon that becomes share everything I have, totally empty myself out. That can't be what it means. So I would like us all to take a challenge to go from selfish to sacred selfishness. Let's take the negativity out of the word selfish, and let's make it sacred selfishness. And one of the things I do for myself, as well as the women I work with, is encourage them to practice sacred selfishness every single day. I'm going to share my screen for a second, and I'm going to share the worksheet with you that I use in my coaching. It's the selves, the me and myselfs. So we need to have self-worth, self-forgiveness, self-love, self-esteem, self-compassion, and self-care to achieve true self-acceptance. Recently, I wrote an article in the On Purpose Woman's magazine that I called Let Yourself Fall. And I describe last August when I was hiking in the White Mountains and I fell on the way down. I knew I was in extreme pain. It turned out I had broken a rib, but I said nothing. I could have, my husband was right there. I could have said something to him. I did not. When we got to the parking lot, I could have said, now is the time to go to the hospital. I did not. I remained silent. And then we went on to Maine, where I climbed mountains, climbed ladders going up mountains, ate ibuprofen, continued to be in terrible pain, and said nothing. Because my head was working overtime. When I started thinking on that mountain, how much pain I was in, and that I needed some help, and I needed to go to the ER when we get down, my self-critic started. You wuss. You're a drug seeker. You just want to get high. You just want to ruin everything. You're trying to get attention. I showed myself no self-compassion. I continued to not exercise self-care. And then afterwards, once I found out my rib was broken and we tell this story, everybody talks about how tough I am. And there's a part of me that beams. And so I'm letting this external message of the need to be tough and our false sense of resiliency of toughness defined by society define my self-worth. Can anybody, I need to turn the light on, can anybody relate to that story? Can anybody? Andrea?
Yeah, the thing I would say is with all the loss I've had in my life, that I had friends and family who kind of held me up as like, oh, she moves through it so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's what brought me to write about taboo topics, like, wake up. No. Okay, so just because I'm not walking around sobbing all the time doesn't mean that I haven't been, had things happen that were tough and that, yeah. So I definitely relate to it. Yeah.
Oh, I totally relate to it too. But I walk around in my house sobbing because there's nobody else here. And if there was somebody that I could share with, it'd be great, but there usually isn't. So yeah, I mean, I hate being tough. Tough is crap.
Tough is crap. It is. I love that, Mary. I wasn't as blunt. I say toughness doesn't serve me. And when in my talks, And in my work with women, what I want to teach is true resiliency, not this false sense of toughness. And it's with us all through society. I spent a lot of years in a career job as a boss, leading lots of people. And if someone dies, right, get 5 days bereavement leave. Your spouse can die, your parent can die, your child can die, you get 5 days off. And then this is some of the language I've heard. Oh, his dad died, he was out last week, but he's back now, he's back in the saddle. Were any of you ever back in the saddle after 5 days after losing somebody you loved? Yes, Bobby? You're muted.
Yes, I've buried a son and a grandson, and I tell you what, everybody says, "Oh, you're so strong." You don't. I wasn't allowed to grieve.
Yes. Yes.
Nope, right back in the saddle.
Yes. And that is exactly what I talk about and work with women about, because my whole return to the light process is if you don't let yourself fall, that's the first step. If you don't create a soft place to land and let yourself take that time, you're never really going to be able to heal. And so we have to be able to do that. Now, I'm not foolish enough to believe that life doesn't go on. We do have to pay the bills. We have to feed our kids when they're little. We have to do this stuff. And so sometimes you have to let yourself fall in little increments, right? I'm going to fall on Tuesday. I'm going to fall all next week, but you have to create that space to do that. To do that, you have to rewrite this script. Because as soon as you catch yourself having a thought that is not really self-loving, and you catch yourself, in my case, saying, "I'm a wuss, come on, don't ruin everything," that needs to be rewritten. It needs to be shifted to a more effective thought. And those are the kind of things I teach in my coaching. And I have found that the shifting of those thoughts is very powerful. The negative thoughts create negative neurochemicals that releases cortisol, adrenal, and that causes physical problems in your body. And the more you can shift those thoughts, the more you can have serotonin, endorphins, more healing things in your body. But we're fighting society on this, and we're fighting every message we've been given as a little girl and everything we've gotten. So we have to do this. The most effective way to start rewriting this script is with this concept of sacred selfishness. This morning, it happened to me again. I was having coffee and tea, and with my husband, we're doing our morning check-in. And one of the questions we always answer in a morning check-in is, what's different about today? I said, well, it's Monday. You're going to the office. And he said, no, I'm not going in. I'm like a deer in the headlights. I'm very busy. I have lunch plans. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And he catches me and says, you do not have to take care of me just because I'm at home. But that script started so unconsciously. Can anybody relate to an unconscious script just starting in your head? Right. So we have to help each other catch those scripts and then rewrite them. So fortunately, my husband is able to help me catch them, just like I help him. And so the moment he said that, I went, oh, right, I don't have to do that. So let's talk about some of the scripts we have as women, wives, mothers, and society. When I said this in the small room, Emily and Andrea laughed because there are so many. Let's talk about it. What do you have to be as a woman in this society? Pretty And what is pretty? It's not my definition of pretty, right? I have to be healing. I have to be giving. As a wife, I'm supposed to take care of my husband. As a mother, I'm supposed to take care of my children. I'm going to tell you guys a secret, and I hope you don't think less of me. I don't like to cook. I've never liked to cook. Every night my husband asks, what do you want for dinner? And I go, cereal's fine. Can anybody relate to that? Cereal is fine. Give me a good bowl of Life cereal or some cheese and crackers. I am fine with that. If I lived alone, I would probably never eat hot food unless it was soup. Not my thing. I have carried with me my whole life that I am less than a woman because I don't cook meals that I can take to somebody's home. I don't, make all these things. I don't have I don't even do grocery shopping. My husband does that. It's not my thing. I get confused in the grocery store. I have always felt that I'm less than a woman. Does anybody on this call have things that they feel make them less of a woman because they do or don't do them? Anybody? Yeah. Yes, I can't be the only one. Let's see, what am I getting in chat? Oh, yeah, reservations. I got that, Mary. Reservations. That's my favorite. I have a girlfriend that she always says the best thing I ever taught her is that you can order takeout from two places at the same time. When you have a house full of kids. Yes, cleaning. I happen to love to clean. That's my whole career. I had people cleaning the house. I have now learned since COVID that I love to clean. Who knew? I had no idea, but I like it. Jenny's saying, when my husband says, what do you want for dinner? I say, anything you make. Jenny. Camping, no room service. I love it. It's okay. And I have struggled with that my whole life. So I have let society's concept of what I should be create my internal messages. And I think those messages are like traumas. And those traumas are wounds on us, things that keep hurting us. And then we just feel less than and less than. So I have an intention that I set every day, and I'll see if you guys can join me in this. My intention every day is to love and accept myself profoundly. I say it every day. Now, an intention is not a goal, more like an aspiration. So I have two that I say every day. I intend to be open and flexible to whatever may come. And I intend to love and accept myself profoundly. I'm not even sure what it means, but I'm inching my way to it. Because one thing I know for sure, that I am worthy of love. Even if I'm just sitting in this chair, each of you and everybody on Facebook is worthy of love. Even if you don't speak, even if you don't have a business, even if you don't have a six-figure income, if you don't bake, if you're not a mother, if you're not a wife, whatever you are, even if you're not skinny, you are worthy of love. In fact, you don't have to do anything to be worthy of love. And let's face it, if I don't love myself profoundly, how can I ask all of you to love me profoundly? Thank you, Jen.
Oh, Shelly, such great wisdom, such great sharing, such great words. Thank you so much. And thank you anyone else who's watching this either on live or in the replay. If you watch this live or the replay, thank you. And if you'd like to join us for one of our 11 free Zoom gatherings a month or in person in Richmond, Virginia, comment below and I'll tell you just how you can do that. You can also go to my website, www.opwgc.com, and find out all about the community.